We are in a good position now with respect to hospital space and step-down facilities. And we are not expecting to eliminate the virus from our population. One of the realities that we are facing now as human beings is that this virus has joined us on this planet and is among populations around the world. What we have to do all along now going forward is be in a position to have the health care and the public health response so that the virus does not overcome us. And that overcoming is measured quickly by an ability or inability to provide health care to those who need it. It is not everybody who tests positive need health care. And it is not everybody who requires health care need it in a high dependency unit. But whatever is required, we must be able to comfortably respond to it. And we think we are in that position going forward. We're not going to be able to step out of it and say, well, okay, it's gone like a hurricane and the next hurricane season is next year, right? We are having to manage it, and it is really managing risk. I been hearing that a lot of people are expecting today that we will make, or maybe we're going to make significant adjustments. I want to tell you that there's no scientific data now which requires us to make any more drastic arrangements, but it does require that we stay on the pathway of the things we said we will do 2 weeks ago, because we wanted a 28-day response. We are in the middle of that 28-day cycle. So today we will continue with cessation of in-house dining in restaurants and bars and food courts and malls and so on. We will continue with that for another 2 weeks, as we have said 2 weeks ago. We will continue to keep our beaches and rivers, as we have said, closed to the public without exemptions. Our beaches and rivers closed to the public. All places without would remain closed. But there was a little problem that arose with respect to the interpretation. All places of worship would remain closed, but there was a little problem that churches from with respect to the interpretation small number service and broadcasting it, preventing churches from congregation having their small number service and broadcasting it to the congregation. We are allowing places of worship to have 10 people spread out in there, to allow them to prepare those services which satisfy the needs of the various congregations and devotees. But remember, this we said will go until the 20th day, which would be the 13th or 14th of September. So we are, all of these things are going to that date. By that time, we will then be able to assess what has happened with the population's response, what has happened with the virus spread, and then by the end of the second week of September, we'll be able to visit these things again and see whether we'd want to continue, roll back, eliminate, as the case might be. Cinemas will remain closed. Congregation of personnel will remain at 5. Weddings, funerals, 10 persons. Mandatory wearing of masks. That is the real only addition. As of hopefully by Monday morning or by Monday, the wearing of masks should be mandatory. So between now and Monday, please get your masks and be able to cooperate. And if you have them, be wearing them from now. If you have been wearing them, continue to wear them. If you have not been wearing them and you have not got yourself supplied, you have until Monday, because without a mask, you'd be required to stay home. I've heard it being said again in the parliament that poor people can't afford the penalty. Well, the best thing that poor people could do is to put on the mask. And there's no penalty. The penalty is for not putting it on. And I'm sure that in the population now, and by Monday, there'll be enough, there are masks around, and if you can't get a mask, what is really required is a covering of your nose and mouth, and I've seen some really creative arrangements, right? So let's get serious and have our noses and mouths covered because it is the law, right? Maxi taxis and taxis. The maxi taxis have made an approach to the government indicating in a reasonable way how they could so space people in their taxis to have the population be no more than 65%. And we have looked at it, and I will advise the Minister of Transport to meet with the Maxi Taxi Association to with health, right? But we are minded to allow that 65% in maxi taxis, and in taxis, an arrangement that will allow one person per window per vehicle. So if it's a four-seater taxi, you can carry 3 people with each person, 3 passengers, and the driver is the 4th person. And of course, as of Monday, every person in these vehicles would have to be wearing a mask. So that should suppress any movement of the virus. Travel restrictions between Trinidad and Tobago for the next 14 days will remain restricted, and we'll invite the population only travel if it is absolutely essential, because what we are providing there is essential service. Governmental service between Trinidad and Tobago will continue. Public officers will move between Trinidad and Tobago, but the general public, only if it's absolutely essential. Let's try and keep the moving public down for the next 14 days. And of course, you would have heard a lot from the Ministry of Education about our teaching institutions, which will remain, as we said 2 weeks ago, closed, but there's a lot happening with respect to how we respond to our children. So that basically is where we're at in the middle of this 28-day period that we asked for last week. And let me say one other thing. I know it makes news to report that somebody is positive for COVID and somebody and somebody in a workplace has been exposed to somebody who had COVID. We can't really go on panic living because somebody heard that somebody had COVID, because we are doing 2 things. There's life and there's livelihood. We are trying to preserve life by all the things that we are doing with respect to responding to the virus, but in parallel, with a managed component of risk, we are keeping livelihoods going. So we don't want to be shutting down all over the place as a fashion, only as when it is essential, and we respond by however it is done under the guidance of the CMO's office. We do that and we move on, we continue. Unnecessary actions, I myself got an invitation the other day to a party. Got myself involved a party. If I come early, it's $50. A lot of nice girls. And if you come late, it's $100. I pass that to the police. And I hope that the police would have attended that party and lock up everybody who was there. Because I'm just fed up of people just playing the fool when we are talking about lives and livelihood. And those who have to party, then we have to police them. It's as simple as that. It is as simple as that. Because you see, some people see this as a profitable environment. It is not a profit that is going to work for the wider national community. It is those kinds of gatherings that will cause us to be struggling if we find ourselves unnecessarily infected. And there's one other thing that I didn't mention, and that is that, it's like it's probably more than one. We, for the next 14 days, in order to keep the population of moving people lowered, we will put the public service on essential service only for the next 14 days. And that is a major contribution to us trying to get that curve down because having fewer people exposed. So the public service would remain for the next 14 days on essential services only, and of course, work at home as directed by the managers of the public service. That would be available, and essential staff could also work at home if it is required. We expect to see an increase in the quantum of work at home and teleconferencing with staff and so on, because the technology allows us to get that done. It doesn't mean that because we have to stay away from the workplace that we should not get certain work done. And we leave that to the managers of the public service to manage the staff in such a way that teleconferencing can allow. In short, what I'm saying is that you're going to be home, but you're not on vacation if you're required to work from home. If you're required to take part in teleconferencing, we're asking for that kind of cooperation. But we are preventing you from coming out to travel and to mix and to increase the numbers and to share facilities. Those are the kinds of conditions where spread can take place. So we are suppressing that by asking you to disperse yourself and remain in contact technologically. And there's a point that I want CMO to clarify for you, which is the encouraging all essential services to implement contingency and business. You may want to explain that a bit, CMO, so that there's little confusion as to what that means.
Okay, so thank you, Prime Minister. So we are encouraging at this point all essential services to implement their contingency and business continuity plans at this time, for example, or even within our health services, as well as the Electricity Commission and WASA, for example. Basically, what we're trying to do is to prevent our essential services from going down if this virus continues to spread. So they are all, workers, they have high-risk environments to start with, and then, of course, they have additional risk at home with community spread. So, for example, what we're trying to do in a health center setting, for instance, we don't want all members of staff to be out at the same time. So you have to have a rotational policy for members of staff so that the entire population, maybe you can do 2 days on, 2 days off, a week on. So if someone comes into that environment that is positive or likely to be positive, the entire operation is not closed at the same time. You have persons that can come in and fill that void. We do sanitization in between, which we have seen happen with a lot of private sector enterprises over the course of this epidemic already. We want that to be a priority now, and it needs to be implemented as soon as possible, if not already, for the essential services to ensure that there's business continuity across the board. Another example, we have Dr. Rahman would have spoken about a few weeks regarding, for instance, manufacturing plants, where you have large areas, persons working together. We want to spatially segregate those individuals. So maybe you have 20 persons working together in a sort of group, and you split that workforce of 100 into 5 groups, so that if a person becomes positive in one group, there's no commingling. And that means during their break time and everything else, so that there are people available to continue the business processes across the board. So those plans, private sector, public sector, needs to be implemented and started now, because the way we have seen spread take root in our public sector, for instance, even within the Ministry of Health, we would have had 3 divisions go down over the last couple of weeks, with entire units having to stay home for 14-day quarantine. So we expect that those plans are put in place and actioned immediately to avoid and to ensure that we have continuity across the sectors.
Thank you, CMO. What in effect you just heard is us living with the virus until there's a vaccine, because we have to get on with our livelihoods and our lives, but the exposure is always going to be there because the virus is here with us. And until there's a vaccine that is available across the board, these are the conditions that we are coming up with to suppress and coexist with the microbe. That's as much as I want to say now, and if there are questions that you have, we'll take your questions now.
Prime Minister, I'll get back to you.
You know what you mean, huh?
Yeah. Always.
You see, I'm going to stay there and take questions you have for me.
All right, okay.
Because I'm sure the questions in the are going to be questions that are
Okay.
With the mandatory wearing of masks coming on stream soon, what is the reason behind keeping the numbers small in terms of gatherings and whatnot, if everybody will be mandated to wear masks?
So mask alone is a singular public health intervention. Okay? So mask by itself cannot stop the spread of any virus. You have to have all the public health measures that we have been saying all along working in tandem, and they do work synergistically. So one supports the next. Social distancing, hand washing, mask wearing all support each other to bring the chance of contracting a virus lower and lower and lower if you do more of them together. So we want to dissuade gathering in addition to wearing masks. So if you have a number of people in a room very close together wearing masks, the transmission potential is slightly greater, much greater than if you have the same amount of people wearing masks and social distancing. So we have to do all of them together in order to control this virus.
Mr. CMO, good day. Crystal Wilson, TTT Limited. My question is concerning patients who have tested positive for the virus. I understand that there are a number of kidney patients.
Right.
Earlier, I think it was mentioned that dialysis will continue for these patients. My understanding is that there's just one machine. Is it affecting the treatment of all the patients currently in the system?
Right. So that has been discussed with the chiefs of staff of the various hospitals to ensure. I think it is a human resource issue that is being worked out through the offices of the various chief executive officers. They do have staff at the different RHAs, which they will pull together a pool of persons so that we can optimize the machines that are required, at least at the Couva facility in the first instance. And then going forward, if there's need to have separate pools of machines as the numbers continue to increase, they will put that in place. But the CEOs are working on a solution together with the chiefs of staff.
My other question is for the Minister of National Security, if
Sure.
we would be so permitted.
Hold on a second.
Oh,
okay.
Let's get as many questions as we have.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
later on, if you have any for the Minister of National Security,
Yes,
and
CMO,
then if you have any for me, if you have any for me, that's fine.
yeah, CMO, the death rate has shot up. We had 4 yesterday. So. And it seems to, well, at least those of us that know, that as long as people go into that ICU stage, that the prospects dim. Can you tell us whether there has been, or there have been, any cases of people who have gone into ICU and come out of it alive?
Yeah. So there have been many cases that persons would have gone into ICU and been stepped back down to HDU and then, of course, to the wards and back home. I think even in the early days, we would have had a few cases where people went into ICU and then came out. Our death rate in Trinidad, as of today, is 1.2%. Globally, it's somewhere between 2 and 5%, closer to 3% if you look at all countries. So the death rate in Trinidad is actually very low at this point. Again, our sample size is 1,577 for now. So we take the total number of deaths and divide that by the total number of positive cases that we have. And that is based on confirmed cases. If you look at suspected cases that may be there that would not have tested positive, it goes down even further. So the death rate is in Trinidad so far, and we hope that the trend continues very good, 1.2%. And for the most part, it has been in the elderly and persons with comorbidities. I just want to speak to the persons that are at home. We have quite a large number of people now at home nursing themselves in mild conditions. The ones that we need to bring into hospital are the ones that really have comorbidities, meaning diabetes, hypertension, definitely persons above 60 with those conditions as well. Those are the people that we want to bring into hospital, have a close look at, and they step down. But critically, what we want people not to do is stay at home and have worsening of your symptoms. If you have shortness of breath, you have any other signs, vomiting, persistent diarrhea, feeling extremely weak and tired, either call the EHS, call the CMOHs that have been in contact with you, or come straight into a facility. Don't wait, because it is a virus that can go from a very mild symptomatology to escalating within the space of hours. So, and that is why we have instituted monitoring and evaluation through the CMOH twice a day. And we are in the process of getting some objective pulse oximeters out to these patients, hopefully by next week, so that we can actually tell their oxygen saturation level at home, as well as their pulses. So we're trying to get those out to the households with positive people, so we can objectively see if there's a decline in your oxygen saturation, which is a very good objective clinical measure to tell you if there's decompensation. And those are the people we want to bring in quickly if we're seeing that change.
Can you tell us how many of the 19
Yeah.
if any, involved people who had no comorbidities?
I believe there would have been 2 persons that weren't listed on the form when we first categorized it. But again, sometimes when persons come in later on, it's difficult to get a history from those individuals. So there were 2 persons that I could recall out of the 19 that didn't have a listed diagnosis of diabetes or hypertension or anything else that I could find. Dr. Trotman, that's correct? Yeah? So far, that's how many I have.
On the last occasion, there was some concern with regards to lab
Right.
for results. Has that been rectified? Because there are still people complaining that they've been
Correct,
waiting
yeah.
too long for
So we have been working through the director of the Trinidad Public Health Lab. We have additional staff at the Ministry of Health, Dr. Smith, and as well as trying to have some private sector engagement. There's 2 things. As the tests continue to come in, the test, really the number of swabs that we do today surpasses the capacity at the lab. So until we can either get our capacity back up beyond the number of swabs coming in, or the number of swabs drops below our capacity, there will still always be a little backlog. As the number of cases decrease, reciprocally there should be a decrease in the number of swabs occurring as well. So it is a process that is ongoing. We're trying to continuously build the capacity out in the lab to push through more tests per day to deal with that backlog. But the backlog has improved in terms of the turnaround time at the Trinidad Public Health Lab in particular, with only a few days for actually performing the test. Understandably, the Trinidad Public Health Lab has actually, over the course of 20 years, been able to turn around tests on average from the time the sample is taken back to the lab. This is not COVID-19 alone. This is COVID-19, HIV, VDRL, whatever is taken, within about a week. A week to 10 days is the average turnaround for any test taken at an institution and having to go back to the clinicians. So it is sort of par for the course. However, we are trying to get it a little better and it has been improving for severe cases in the hospital. So those people that are very ill, we're using something called a Gene Expert machine, which could turn you around in about 45 minutes. So for the severely ill ones, our turnaround is very fast. Persons with milder illnesses, it goes through the process, has to go to a physician, and the physician has to inform the person of the results. So it goes to about 5 to 7 days for that whole process to go through. The lab component takes about 48 hours to 72 hours out of that whole process. So there has been some improvement, and we continue to increase the capacity at the lab, but it is a process. And I just want to add, in terms of testing, for the Trinidad Public Health Lab for the month of August, the director has indicated to me that the number of samples and tests that they have run in August alone surpasses the annual number of tests that they would have done in the whole of 2019. Just to give you an idea of the capacity we're trying to build in a short period of time.
Do you have any ideas the number we have in the backlog, 20, 50 cases?
I don't want to put a number to it. Just to give you an average, we have about 700 to 800 samples being taken every day. Our capacity as of today is roughly about 600, so there is a little surplus still. So that's just to give you an idea of the capacity of the system. We are using private sector to build out a little additional capacity, but again, they have private sector work as well that they do. So we can't tell them how many tests to do per day, but they're trying to accommodate as best as they can.
MRF.
Yeah, so MRF is one of the other medical research foundation that we have leaned on, and they have been able to turn around quite a large number of tests. They did over 500 tests for us in less than 48 hours, and we just gave them another batch this morning. So MRF is really helping us to turn that number again. But again, once the numbers keep maintaining that high input, it is extremely difficult to push it back out as quickly as we would like.
Another question.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
Hi, good day. Charlene Hamstad, Guardian Media. Has the average age of infection remained the same? I know you gave us some stats a couple of weeks ago.
So in this second wave, as opposed to the first wave, as I said, the 55.5 was the average age in the phase 1. The average age about 2 weeks ago was 33 or thereabouts. It has gone up a little bit to somewhere in the 40s. So the average age has dropped in terms of the infection, and I suppose concurrently there have been a decrease in the mortality rate because, of course, as you know, as you get older, there's a higher level of mortality. So it is a function of age as well. In terms of the infections, tend to be milder in the younger age groups.
And how do you differentiate between the active cases and I've noticed a change in the listing. We no longer have recovered. We have active and discharged.
Right.
There is some concern that there would be a false sense of security when we see the people who have gone home being listed as discharged and there are no recovered stats anymore.
Right. So active cases basically means all the positive cases that we have at this point in time who has not met the discharge criteria as I discussed it before. Recovered persons would be persons that were discharged based on that criteria. So those are all the recovered individuals. So that's how we define it. So recovered and discharged is almost used interchangeably.
CMO, I understand that there's a flight to Barbados tomorrow. I understand some students are due to return. I also understand that Barbados has changed their policy somewhat concerning persons not landing unless they have a negative test.
So Mr. Young, I believe, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, this is something that we've become aware of within the last 24 hours, and it really is irrelevant because it is a requirement of the Barbadian government. So they have implemented a necessity for certain test results when we put together these two flights. So one left today. Yesterday we had a flight on Friday to Barbados, a full plane going up to Barbados, and we had put on another full one tomorrow on Sunday. So within the last 24 hours, now we're being asked that Barbados has changed their requirements. There's nothing we can do because it's not a requirement of the Trinidad government. So people will have to meet those requirements. Who can't meet it, I guess they can't get into Barbados, and that's just how we'll have to deal with it. Was that the question you wanted to do?
The other question has to deal with bars and the gatherings outside now. Have you had any feedback from the police concerning their watch? You know,
so yesterday being Friday, that was a discussion with Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. So we put in place, the Commissioner of Police after discussion, put in place instructions to all of the divisions asking them to focus their patrols on it. I too did some observation, but we asked, as the regulations stand, you're not allowed to serve the drinks inside. You're not allowed to consume them within the precincts or the premises or the precincts. And we asked the police officers to make sure and enforce that. During the course of the night, you're still getting reports, and from all over Trinidad, of persons saying, look, there's still some bars. Unfortunately, some bars still want to close their doors and allow people to watch the CPL games and other things internally. So the police are doing what they can to enforce it. They still have the 555 number to be able to enforce it. We ask persons to notify us, but really it's for persons to just be responsible. And what I have asked as a policy decision of the government is make some examples. So shut down some of the bars. You can charge some of the bar owners for aiding or abetting on it if they're going to have that encouraged in their premises. Certainly if there's activity in the bar, but even the persons on the outside, you're allowed to charge persons on the outside. So we've asked the TTPS to make some examples if persons are going to behave badly. Okay. Prime Minister, there's one question we've been bombarded with, which is to do with the mandatory mask wearing. A lot of people have been asking, do I still have to wear my mask in my personal car as I'm driving? The answer is it is going to be very difficult to police if you are family, if persons are in a PH car. If it's one person in a vehicle, then I think you wouldn't be charged for one person in a vehicle not wearing a mask. But we're asking, even with families, please wear the mask, because it is going to be difficult from an enforcement point of view, especially, for example, we're all familiar with PH drivers, so they're not going to have an H as a taxi, and when we pull those vehicles aside for them to say their family. So please continue to wear your mask. If it's one person in a vehicle, I guess that is the CMO will allow us that indulgence, but once it's more than that, please wear your mask.
Police mask wearing for people like vagrants, for homeless people. What do you mean? Pardon me? Well, there will be one group that will be all over. So we know that they'll be spreading anything that they have.
The socially displaced, what's the correct term for it?
Socially displaced.
Yeah, they would require attention in a slightly different way, because if you provide them with a mask and they don't put it on, or you put it on and they take it off, you just got to work with the situation. The one thing we don't want and again, as a national population, we really don't want to be having to be traipsing to the court, carrying people to the court to be adjudicated upon because they didn't wear a mask. Everybody in this country has an opinion. Everybody in this country has an opinion to express. Everybody in this country knows who's not doing their work. Everybody in this country knows who should be held accountable for something. We want to use that same enthusiasm in the personal use of the mask on your own face and your minor children, if it comes to that. Just understand that if some people are not doing it, it makes the whole thing ineffective. And to not do it because whatever the reason, you're just putting the rest of the country through unnecessary stress. Even if you don't believe that it's going to work. It has worked elsewhere. Others are saying it's going to work. Don't get yourself charged for not complying deliberately. You know, that's what more can we do? Right? You know, there are other societies where the instruction to do this, there's no pushback. We always compare ourselves to Singapore. We're supposed to be like Singapore in our economic development. We're supposed to be like Singapore in our governmental management. But what happens in Singapore does not happen in Trinidad and Tobago. The government in Singapore has a certain amount of leeway and gets a certain amount of response from the population. In Korea, in China, right? And even in Europe, and now in certain aspects in the United States. Yesterday in the parliament, I had to sit down there and listen to one of my colleagues talking about the power we're giving to the minister to make regulations, to make you wear a mask. If you don't give the power to an officer of state, who is going to be responsible? And of course, the same person who is saying that is holding the minister responsible for every confirmed COVID case. I have actually seen it said by a person in this country who's a politician that I allow COVID to come in this country. And now we are saying that certain officers are responsible to do certain things to ensure that the population is protected. You have to listen to all kind of fool argument about giving the minister authority. In some parts of the United States, the governor has the authority to do it without going to any legislative chamber. As a governmental authority, the governor makes the authority. In some places, it's the mayor who is doing it and saying we want this done. In some places, the law is enforced in a way that we here would think is draconian. So in our society, we try to make the laws and we try to make the regulations and we try to make the exhortations in such a way that we understand our society and we simply cannot do this alone. It's not a governmental thing. That's the point I'm making. This is not going to be and is never going to be a governmental thing. It's a responsible population that will protect itself from a surprise attack that's been going on now for 8 months. And it could go on very disastrously if we don't respond in the way we've been guided by our healthcare givers. So the conversation it sounds good for some people to be talking all kinds of things about what should and shouldn't and who should and shouldn't. The one thing we got to focus on, what are you doing at the personal level? Because that's what matters. With respect to the border closure, next week I'm going to have a meeting with the Ministry of National Security, and we are going to maximize the amount of exemptions granted. The transportation system is another story because borders are closed and there's no scheduled transport. But given where we are now, and with the use of home quarantine and so on, our case to keep people outside has been considerably reduced, and we close this chapter, in a more effective way. So those persons who've been on the outside, been very patient, we need to bring them home as quickly as we can, but we do have transportation issues. Even when we grant the exemptions, there are still going to be issues of how they get here. And of course, insofar as cooperating in arranging the kinds of transport that we've been arranging there recently, to take the children out, bring them back from university and so on, we will work that with the objective being to get as many people who are domiciled in Trinidad and Tobago. Those are our primary concern right now. People who live here, who went outside and couldn't get back home. We need to try and get them back home now in as quickly a way as we can.
So returning nationals will be allowed to home quarantine?
Returning nationals.
Yes.
Persons who claim Trinidad and Tobago as their home and who were caught outside by the closure of the border. After 8 months now, we think we should make every attempt to bring them within the border, and the CMO will guide us as to how we do that. Right?
Will they be home quarantined or?
Well, we haven't reached there yet, but I don't see people coming home now that we've moved to home quarantine. If you come in, you had to go into quarantine because that was all that was available, the mandatory quarantine. Now that the mandatory quarantine is not available, we have to determine what happens to these people when they come home, right? Especially if they come and we test.
And we have more space.
We have more space, and our testing capacity is improved, and we will then be able. But I'm just giving here the health department far more work to do. But I think we really must get people home.
Are there any plans to have mass sanitizing of public spaces, or is that ongoing? And one other question, we have already mass sanitization of the promenade, bus terminus, these places, or no? And we have already been bombarded with calls to the newsroom concerning the flights that people are unable to make tomorrow because of them not having negative tests. They're asking whether or not they have any recourse.
The minister just said that has nothing to do with this government. It is a condition laid down by the government of Barbados. So the traveler and the government, we all caught in the same position. The point of departure of disembarkation have changed the terms of disembarking. Barbados have put arrangements in place, and we just have to now rework the movements. If you were supposed to go and you can't meet the conditions to land in Barbados, well, then we just have to work for the next opportunity.
Crystal, let me just clarify that thing with Barbados. If you looked at the England example recently, every country is taking decisions at very short notice. England took a decision that any person coming back into England had to quarantine for 14 days. That caught English citizens returning from Spain on a plane coming in. They left Spain not knowing that they had to quarantine. In the air, England took a decision. When they landed, they now had to quarantine. The point I'm trying to make, all countries make these decisions to protect their populations, and we have to live with it.
From the CMO, the safeguards that are taken when people are given the privilege of home quarantine. To me, I'm wondering if people should be given information, and when I say people, I mean the general public, should be given information, because there seems to be nothing that compels these people to adhere, or nothing that compels them to remain in a bubble like the CPL players. Because people know who the CPL players are there in a bubble. If you are at your home quarantining, there is nothing that compels you to stay there, not to go out to whatever.
That's not correct, Ria. What compels you to stay there is a contract between you and the rest of the population. That if you come out, you are going to be penalized. Everybody has a knife in their house. There's nothing that compels you not to use the knife to kill somebody. But if you do that, there are certain consequences. It is the consequence that compels you to stay there.
So they are being given, everyone who is put into home quarantine is being given a quarantine order to stay there by the CMOH offices for the duration of time that we think it takes for someone to become and meet the discharge criteria non-infective. So they are being given a legal letter in writing, every single person that is positive. Be charged under the full ambit of the law, and there's a fee of 6,000 that can be assigned to you, as well as being confined in state quarantine.
And Andrea, you saw it work in Tobago recently.
Right. Now is there a case for letting the population know who or where these people are, so that people can take action in the same way as was done, that the population protected itself because of the information provided?
That brings me to another point, and the point is this. The population ought not to take this position that persons who are COVID positive are to be treated in any way with scorn. This is a condition where we are saying all of us have to assume that we are participants in the transmission of the virus. What happened in a Caribbean territory here close to us very early in the game when we were managing this, the very fact that a confirmed case was reported from a hotel, members of the public started to treat the people who were working in the hotel as people to be scorned, and they were being denied access to public transportation and so on and so on. We have to treat people who you may know or suspect have become COVID positive as normal citizens fighting the virus that we are fighting too. And that having been said, it comes by a variety of ways, right? But the bottom line is, we are saying to you, don't treat people as having an ailment that causes you to treat them with scorn. They are normal citizens who, like everybody else, is fighting the virus. The positive confirmation is a condition which will go, which is being treated, which all of us, right? Even the very one who would treat the person in an offhand manner might even be a person who's an asymptomatic carrier. So we're appealing to the public not to take that position with anybody or any family or any community, because we have had complaints, or we've had seen stories about people wanting to know who. I mean, in one community recently, there was a confirmed person at a school, and there was some serious social pushback there. And, children were treated in a particular way, families were treated in a particular way. We are asking that that not be done, right? If people are sick, it's an ailment, and every one of us is exposed to it. So there's no point in taking the position that they're sick and you're healthy. But having said that, cooperating by coming out when they're supposed to be on quarantine, then by all means, report them to the authorities.
Minister, if you allow me to be devil's advocate for just a little bit, could you define home in the context of people living in apartment complexes? Would they be allowed to go outside?
Home is the area that you're responsible for. If you're living in an apartment complex, you're in an apartment, one of the apartments, that is your home, that's what you're responsible for. And if you're supposed to be quarantined at home, it means in your home. It doesn't mean on the compound. running up and down the corridors of an apartment block. You're not at home. So if the phone rings from this, that's your home, not the community, and say, well, look, I'm outside out there. That's what the quarantine is about, keeping you isolated.
And PM, if you allow me, that's why when I started, I said we have made the refinement now that persons who live in conditions like apartments, who cannot properly out houses and so on. So that is exactly why we have added that refinement to the policy. Come in to state quarantine, no charge, and serve out your quarantine period. Okay?
Health Minister or Prime Minister, you stress, Prime Minister, that there will be no exemptions for beaches and rivers and whatnot. What about for religious functions? There's one coming up on Tuesday, I believe. Ganesh Utsava. I hope I pronounce it properly.
Planned, and all had to be cancelled for the simple reason that we could not encourage congregation of people for whatever purpose. So that's as far as it goes.
And this is not to penalize anyone. Let's go back. We had Eid during the pandemic. We had no gatherings. You had Easter. You had Corpus Christi. So this applies across the board, because we don't want it to be said we are penalizing any one person or one group. We are in a pandemic.
But in all fairness, the Eid and these other things, they were allowed inside the temples and the mosques and the churches, and live stream with
no sir, no sir, no sir. No gatherings are allowed. We are in a global pandemic with 24-25 million cases globally, sir. Everyone has to pull their weight.
I could tell you, we had a number of functions organized, not just planned, but organized for Baptist Liberation Day. And every one was cancelled. And you should understand this. What are we doing all of this for? We're doing all of this to prevent a virus moving from one person to another. So any situation that allows that bridge to be available, gathering, that's why we said no contact sport, no team sport, right? Thousands of young people desperate to go out there and play team sport for all kinds of reasons. But because the condition under which they'll be operating would be one that is conducive to the virus being spread from one person to the other, regardless of how important the fixture is, we have had to say no for the time being. And I mean, look at going to church. I mean, what better way of spending your time than going to church? We've said, as important as that is, as spiritual as that is, as safe as inside, be having the virus, becoming an overwhelming factor in our lives. That's as simple as that. So exemptions, when I said no exemption, I wasn't pointing at any particular person or any particular event. We're saying that for the period that we are aiming to bring those numbers down, we only do that if we do it completely. Because if some people do it and others don't do it, then you don't get the benefit of what we're trying to do. And of course, I know there's always people who can make a case for themselves. But we're not dealing with this at the personal level, or otherwise we are going to end up taking part measures where we can take whole measures.
When we come to this Independence Day long weekend, Trinidadians would normally have a lot of linemen and so on.
Well, it's a good thing that the beach is closed. You could imagine you could imagine what was going to happen between Friday and Tuesday if we hadn't got the beaches closed. But again, there are those who will think that we should keep the beaches open for them to go and have a good time. But what is likely to happen 14 days after that good time? And we carrying this fear that if we find ourselves in this situation where we have so many sick people, that our health infrastructure cannot respond appropriately. That spoke of independence. The last thing that was on our mind, if at all, was being in this situation. In 8 months, what a difference 8 months has made to us. So I am appealing to you to reflect on our independence. We are responsible for our circumstance. Nobody is responsible for us. And in this matter, at the personal level, if we are responsible, hopefully by our 59th anniversary of independence, we look back on this period as a period of great difficulty, which we have overcome with aplomb, because we are the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and we are to manage and handle our stories good enough to come out of it together successfully. Thank you all very much.
I love my culture. I love soca. I love calypso.
My culture is the best in the world.
I love chutney. I love Trini Pop. I love pan.
The feeling is real.
I love my country. We love WACK. Our culture never stops.
Taking our culture to the world. WACK 90.1 FM. San Fernando, Trinidad and Tobago.
A gift to the nation, celebrating diversity. The 58th Anniversary Independence Concert, Monday, August 31st, 12 midday, 100% Trini Pan. A live at lunch online streaming concert from the Southern Academy for the Performing Arts, as the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and the Arts launches Patriotism Month, with performances by Len Bugsy Sharp, Pan Twins Deja and Dejeen Kane, Caribbean Steel Pan Connection, featuring Colton Xander Alexander, Mahalia Thomas, MC Jarrell Forbes. 100% Trini Pan, a lunchtime online streaming concert. Log on to Facebook/Culture Division TT. Join us Monday, August 31st, Independence Day. Courtesy Music TT, SAPA, WACK Radio 90.1 FM, and the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and the Arts.
The Agape House Ministries, in collaboration with St. Peter's Spiritual Baptist Church, Corner Pond and Lambie Streets, Vista Bella, presents The Kingdom of God. Jesus said, the time is fulfilled and the kingdom of God is at hand. Repent ye and believe the gospel. Do join your host, Bishop Leon John, and the Agape House team every Sunday from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. on WACK Radio 90.1 FM as they explain the spiritual principles for kingdom living in this troubled world and help with your preparation for life in the kingdom of God.
Trinidad and Tobago, to stop all the rhetoric, the most important and only message that should be shared about COVID-19 is about transfer. The only way the virus can be spread is through transfer. Conversely, the only way the virus can die is without transfer. To state clearly, if we stop the transfer, we will kill the virus. So whether you have underlying conditions or you are an elderly person is the wrong narrative. Whether young persons are affected and will recover quickly is not important. Whether it has or has not been proven to affect children is irrelevant. Stop the transfer, kill the virus. Wear your mask. Stop the transfer, kill the virus. Physically distance. Stop the transfer, kill the virus. Wash your hands. Stop the transfer, kill the virus. Let's spread the right message. Stop the transfer, kill the virus.
What's free for you costs us. Donate to WACK 90.1 FM and help us to bring to you the tents, the pan, the shows, the mass, and all other cultural shows free of charge. We are the only culture station in Trinidad and Tobago. Go to our webpage, www.wackradio901fm.com, and click the donate button. It will keep the stream free. Because what is free for you costs us.
Get clothing, bags, and toys for children at JCP and more. Located at 18 Central Street, Vistabella, close to the Catholic Church. You can get brands such as Carter's, Healthtex, and Gerber. And you can browse the range of ladies' clothing. The opening hours are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mondays to Saturdays. For more info, call Jenny at 759-1397 or like us on Facebook. Check out JCP and more for top quality, great prices.
2020 has been an unforgettable year. The Golden Hands 2020 calendar is a collector's item in honor of steel pot icons that accomplished notable firsts. Bobby Muhammad, Carlisle Holder, Ray Holman, Lord Gay, Michelle Huggins Watts, Natasha Joseph, Bertrand Birch Kelman, Len Bosie Sharp, Beverly Ramsey Moore, and Vanessa Headley. Available now at Golden Hands, WACK 90.1 FM, Pantrinbago, or call 1-868-652-9774. Get yours now with a 50% discount for only $60. Delivery available to your home or workplace on Wednesdays. Send your orders via WhatsApp. Text 186-489-9151. All proceeds go to the Golden Hands Music Scholarship Fund.
In light of the COVID-19 pandemic, there are some simple ways to protect yourself and your family. First, your hands. Know where they are at all times. When out and about, keep hands clean as much as possible. Wash or sanitize after touching surfaces like doorknobs, countertops, trolley handles, etc. You touch, you wash thoroughly or sanitize if washing isn't possible. Secondly, start working on the connection between your hands and your face. Be aware of touching your face and stop doing it. I know it's not easy, but try. Those on the front lines realize this is one area of transmission. Third, no touching or hugging other people. If out getting groceries or supplies, say hello from afar. Smile and wave. 4. Social distancing. Stay away from others as much as possible. 3 to 6 feet if that's possible. 5th, keep hydrated. Keep your immune system well boosted. Look after your general health. And lastly, take care of your mental health. These are anxious times. Stay away from fear by staying away from fake news and misinformation. We will get through this if we all act sensibly and responsibly. Now you have a good day.
Press conference wasn't going to finish, boy. Wait. A lot of rhetorical questions. Hey! But anyhow, that's what the media is there for. So the WACK Up Close and Personal concert continues this evening, right? Up Close and Personal concert continues this evening from 6. Rennie Joseph, Fortuna and the Band Effects. They'll be on the inside. Yep, Rennie Joseph Fortune and the band Effects. They will be on the inside. Tomorrow, Super Blue, Ronnie McIntosh. They're going at each other, tune for tune, not pan for well, soca for soca. Yeah, had to be soca for soca. On the Super Blue sing a love song, boy. On the Ronnie McIntosh will sing a love song, boy. Anyhow, but they're going tune for tune tomorrow, alright? Eve of Independence, we're celebrating 58 years of an independent nation. Boy, that's happening on Monday. Alright, so this evening from 6 p.m. That's under 2 hours time, Rennie Joseph Fortune and the band Effects. I think she'll be launching a brand new album, alright? Don't know what the album consists of, but you will hear it this evening. And tomorrow, Super Blue, Ronnie McIntosh. Tune into WACK 90.1 FM, Facebook, YouTube, or the WACK app and be part of the concert. So good afternoon to you once again, wherever you are locked on to 90.1. On this beautiful Saturday afternoon. Hope you're having a beautiful day. I hope you had a good night rest. And I hope your day is going just the way you want it to go. Teresa, you under pressure? You under pressure, Teresa? Alright, take off something, take off something. Oh, okay, pour on something.
So when the place get hot, take off your hat, hot. When the DJ start work, take off your shirt. And if you don't have a clue, then take off your shoe. And if you don't have a rag and a flag in your hand, everybody know this is what we're gonna do. Everybody start shot. Motoda. Yeah. Good afternoon. Yeah. Could have been one shot of liquor or the whole case of liquor. Whole team lit like we mash it up proper. Party real nice, yeah, the party look good. Right about now, take a shot for the road. Boom, hey. Now we take one for the road. Boom, bam. Now we take a shot for the road. Boom, bam. Now we take one for the road.
Party look nice, yeah, party look good. Boom bam, now we take one for the road. Boom bam, now we take a shot for the road. Boom bam, now we take one for the road. Party look nice, yeah, party look good. Now we go down by the Juve. Plenty rum and gal by the Juve.
Oh, you're covering yourself up? Alright, no problem. Cover up, cover up.
One for the road.
Take your pressure. Hey, your breaks in, girl.
Now we take one for the
cover up, cover up.
Now we take a shot for the road.
You can take a shot for the road. I mean, for the coal.
Party look nice, yeah, party look good. Boom bam. Now we take one for the road. Boom bam. Now we take a shot for the road. Boom bam. Now we take one for the road. Party look nice, yeah, party look good. Shots. What we taking shots. What we need is shots. Bartender bring out the shots, 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 yeah, shots. Give me the work with the work. Hey, give me the work with the work. Give me the work with the work. I come for this work. Sign me up. I come for this work. Sign me up. I come for this work. Sign me up. I come for it. Boss lady, I come for this work. Sign me up. I come for this work. Sign me up. I come for this work. And I go work it properly. I wanna sign my signature, cross my T's, cause I have all the requirements that you need. My resume is flawless, suitable, diverse, reliable. If you're hiring, I just want to go to work. Boss lady, I come for this work. Sign me up, I come for this work. Sign me up, I come for this work. Sign me up, I come for it. Boss lady, I come for this work. Sign me up, I come for this work. Sign me up, I come for this work. And I go work it properly. You say I have a vacancy, I go be number one employee. I aim to please, guaranteed. I fit and ready. Alright, yeah, well equipped. The structure, a time in it. This economy, I've been looking for work. Boss lady, I come for this work. Sign me up, I come for this work. Sign me up, I come for this work. Sign me up, I come for it. Boss lady, I come for this work. Sign me up, I come for this work. Sign me up, I come for this work. And I go work it properly.
Skilly bang bang. It's amazing when you walk, amazing me when you whine. Something there about you and walking on this place just blow my mind. I feel it, I do. When you walk, I want you. Baby girl, if you got a boyfriend, I got something to tell you. Honey, take man pan him. If you talk it, put a walk out pan him. Nobody in the time for that. Get step out the road and go bend your back. Say money, take man pan him. If you talk it, put a walk out pan him. Cause you're hot and you're up like Obama. I'll bend your waist, go down there in the back. Deep and wine, bubble and wine. Tell your body how to take it again and one time.
Cover up with soca, cover up with soca.
Wine in the place of a man tipsy. Deep and wine, bubble and wine. Tell your body how to take it again and one time. And you get a waist of a gypsy. Wine in the place of a man tipsy. It's amazing when you walk, amazing me when you whine. Something there about you and walking on this place.
Frightened to mention the word mask. Frightened to mention the word mask.
When you walk, I want you. Baby girl, if you got a boyfriend, I got something to tell you.
Bunnin',
take man bunnin',
bunnin'.
Nobody on the time for that. Got step out the road.
Trying to get myself in that group right now.
Take man bunnin', if you talk it, you shoulda walk out bunnin'. Cause you're hot and you're up like Obama. Girl, bend your waist, go down there in the back. Deep and wine, bubble and wine. Tell your body how to take it again and one time. And you get a waist of a gypsy. Wine in the place of a man tipsy. Bubble and wine. Tell your body how to take it again. Hey.
Say every time I enter a cafe, I swear I never see so much happen. Yeah. So much sex
just like to bend. She bringing, she friend, I counting about 10. I telling she how, she asking me when.
I want to have the Trinities. I want to have the Trinities happy now, boy. Hey, Trinities, you happy?
If you only act up, woman, I get in a Venezuelan. If you only play mad with me, I leave in you for a Veni. If you only act up, woman, I leave in you for. I get in a Veni. Just like the bench, she bringing, she friend, I counting about 10. I telling she how, she asking me when.
I live in you for a Veni. I live in your Veni.
Like to clean, you don't like to cook. You feel eyes are cook, you feel eyes are mook. All your study, yeah, this how you just look.
But you're a muck.
Look.
I gonna leave you, man, for Veni. Your mother, but you're a muck.
Bad behavior is my pet peeve. Girl, you really, girl, went too far. Hey, when you throw that brick on the car. If you only play mad for me, I'll leave in you and get a Veni. What? If you only act up, woman.
But then Veni bad too, you know. Don't Veni bad, you know. Alright, go ahead.
Play mad for me,
I'll leave in you. I'll leave in you.
If you only act up, woman, I'll leave in you. Somebody say Veni. Is a man's best friend. Everybody Mami, tú quieres que la lamba, tú quieres que te pase la lengüita, dime habla. Ella quiere lengua, ella quiere lengua, ella quiere que la lamba, ella quiere que la lamba, ella quiere lengua, ella quiere lengua, ella quiere que la lamba, ella quiere que la lamba, lamba por atrás, tra. Por dentro y por fuera, le meto los dedos dentro de su cartera. No, yo no hablo de la billetera. Hoy se levantó con senda bellaquera. Quiere que la lamba como una paleta. Ella grita, se escucha en otro planeta. Hoy tengo una cita, será con tus piernas. Así que me gusta la carne bien tierna. Mami, tú quieres que la lamba, tú quieres que te pase la lengüita, dime. La lengüita, dime, habla. Ella quiere lengua, ella quiere lengua, ella quiere que la lamba, ella quiere que la lamba, ella quiere lengua, ella quiere lengua, ella quiere que la lamba, ella quiere que la lamba, lamba. Oh yeah, where you come from, which part? Why you wanna come break my heart? Let me tell you about Nice Nation, ready to perform now. She whine and start to bubble, get me stiffy. Them gal want to whine and a bubble and a buckle. Yeah, there was something loud and big. The gal them a play. When the gal break away, let me tell you about say. Bend on she back and she whining roll. Bend on she back and she whining roll. Bend on she back and 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 she whining roll. Juve morning, I on the road. Paint and powder on the road. Watch out the gal and the truck and she back and she walk and she bend and she whining roll. Say. On the road. You are the pepper when you put in on me, one girl put up like that. Pretty pants Snapchat, girl bubble. Your pretty color make me I see double. Them girl want to whine and a bubble and a buckle. Yeah, there was something loud and big. The girl them a play. When the girl break away, let me tell you about say. Juve morning, I on the road. Paint and powder on the road. Watch out the girl and the truck and she rock and she walk and she bend and she whining roll. Say. Ring ding on the road. Ring the ding on the road. Bend on she back and she whining roll. Bend on she back and she whining roll. Ring ding ding ding. Ring the ding ding ding. Ring ding ding ding. Trini baby again, I'm telling you. Big fat bam bam, small slim bam bam. Oh, it don't matter when I jam my bum body. It don't matter when I jam my bum body. Big fat bam bam, small flat bam bam. Oh, it don't matter when I jam my bum body. It don't matter when I jam my bum body. Bring it here, let me show
Show them, show them, show them, show them.
Let me cook it up. Bring it here, let me jam that bumper. Girl, why don't why you stop? How you jiggle it non-stop. Spread your legs like the hands on the clock.
Show them.
Girl, roll your bottom. Beat it out like a drum. Big fat bam bam, small slim bam bam. Oh, it don't matter when the jam a bumper. Wow. It don't matter when the jam a bumper. Big fat bam bam, small flat bam bam. Oh, it don't matter when the jam a bumper.
Just jam the bam bam, just jam the bam bam, yo man.
Ding ding ding,
come on, ring the ding ding ding, ring ding ding ding, ring the ding, ring the ding,
ring ding ding ding, ring the ding ding ding,
ring it out,
ring ding ding ding,
ring it out, ring it, ring it, ring it, ring it.
Any girl that I see, and don't try call me thirsty. I go wine on it if it big and fat, even if it's small and tiny.
What?
I didn't come to watch no face. Arch your back and shake that waist. Bend over and jiggle. Bend over and jiggle, 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 jiggle. Small slim bam bam. Oh, it don't matter.
Any bam bam, any bam bam, any bam bam. Come here.
Big fat bam bam. Small flat bam bam. Oh, it don't matter when a jam a bumper. It don't matter when a jam a bumper.
Go and spend the money, yo. Say it no difficult, no difficult. Getting blessings from mama for me to marry, yo. Say it no difficult, no difficult. Baby, you they kill me with the bam bam. You they kill me with the wine. Good afternoon. You they kill me with the bam bam. I they had to make you mine. So give me that one more time before you go to work. Before you close that door, let me show you how much you mean to me. Give me that one more time and let me put it down. I love you calling out my name like there's no one around. Oh, wine for me, baby, come wine for me. Baby, 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 give it to me. Baby, come wine for me. Baby, come, baby, come, baby, come wine for me. Baby, 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 give it to me. Baby, come wine for me. Girl, I hate to see you go, but I love to watch you live. And I know this sounds a bit cliche, but it's exactly how I feel. Baby, you they kill me with the bam bam. You they kill me with the wine. You they kill me with the bam bam. I they had to make you mine. So give me that one more time before you go to work. Before you close that door, let me show you how much it means to me. Give me that one more time and let me put it down. I love you calling out my name like there's no one around.
When we touch the place, my shit. When we touch the hills, them wild out. When we touch the bar, must find no vibes. Hard, the back and all the world done. When we touch the place, my shell up. When we touch the girls, them wild out. When we touch the bar, must find no vibes. Hard, the back and all the world done. Oh God, she drunk till she fall long. Woman she head till she bring to smell long. She man not dead, look she have no fear. Is a man do spare, she rare with your wine bar. They flexing rule, she wine pony guard like she flexing too. Must be professional. Professor Boo back pedal with the art. She have artistic roots, handle it fast. Waste it out slow, jam it and pause, then grind down low. Must give her a tip, she a wine pan a toe. Girl have no chill, but cool like snow. My boat war road, cause she body so wavy. This boat could float, so it's boat right daily. That wine up all kind of messes, best said dead meal. Look up for behavior, the wine must bail me part.
It's 90.1 FM, Saturday afternoon.
You coulda be red, you coulda be dark. Once your bam bam rollin', restart to my heart. You coulda be red, you coulda be dark. Once your bam bam rollin', you have a space in my heart. Girl, come on, let me jam it, I jam it and jam it, I jam it and jam it, girl, jam it, let me jam it, I jam it and jam it, I jam it and jam it. Hey, hey, hey.
This weekend would have been Boston Carnival, boy. Wait, not today. Yeah, boy. Today would have been Boston Carnival, boy. Oh, gosh. Carnival mashup all over the world, boy.
When we touch to the place, no shell up. When we touch to the girls, them wild up. When we touch to the bar, must find no vibe. It's hard, the bacchanal well up. Raise a cup in the air, we're drinking. Raise a cup in the air without thinking. Shows out, girl. You're mad at the way. Shows out, girl. You're mad at the way. Come as we come to cost, come as we come to cost, come as we come to cost, come as we come to cost.
That's what soca is all about. That's what soca is all about. Encouraging it to jam. Jam and wine. Jam and wine. Jam and wine.
She said she just did for she husband. guarantee. Just get ready, welcome. All hours in the morning, girl, your body keep calling my name. My name. Girl, until the sun rising, girl, you know that you can't get away. You can't get away. Alright then. So I pull up on it, hey. How will you wind back on it, hey? Put your hands on the hip. My girl, let me try a little bit, hey. Don't hold back on it. Girl, I love when you bump a dip, hey. You had the thing that is grip. And all the man that want it, baby. How will you walk up like Rihanna? Walk up, how will you give me the thing now? Baby, when you rock back on it, how will you give it? The way you give it to me, I'm falling in love. Why you in my life? 'Cause you give me the vibe. Baby, when I'm here with you, my darling, I can't help it, I'm falling. 'Cause you in my life. You give me the vibe. You making me feel away. At the end of the day, feel the energy that releasing. With my heart, I don't want you to play. Don't play. No way. Time you want me start rising. I want you know that I intend to stay. I ain't going nowhere. Oh yeah. Alright then. So I pull up on it. Hey. How will you wind back on it? Hey. Put your hands on the hip. My girl, let me try a little bit. Hey. Don't hold back on it. Girl, I love when you bump a dip. Hey. You had the thing that is grip. And all the man that want it, baby.
You see, if you see how she start to whine and she break away, yeah, she break away. Alright, I free. I wanna hold on to you and give you the sugar, yeah. Give you the sugar, yeah. Make she ball out. Make she feel this tension, oh God, make she ball out. Make she feel this pressure, oh God, make she ball out. Make she feel this tension, oh God, make she ball out. Make she feel this tension, oh God, and she scream out, baby. How are you again? How are you again? And she scream out, baby. How are you again? Why you again? That thing we have got, we want it. Every time when you walk in the road, ride the thing non-stop. Ride it, all the man them eyes on you, girl.
this evening from 6 p.m. Ready Joseph Fortune and Effects the Band. Tomorrow, Super Blue, Ronnie McIntosh, right here on 90.1 FM. Stop the lies. 90.1 FM, boy. So this weekend is Boston. Next week, Labor Day is next weekend, you know. Anybody going up for Labor Day next weekend? Who going up for Labor Day? Who going up for Labor Day next week? Oh boy.
Sign the check, baby, but I want it for life. Oh, 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 oh. Can't let you go. Oh, 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 oh. Girl, wine it slow. Oh, oh.
Good afternoon.
Hi, blessed afternoon.
Oh dear. You're
I'm in New York.
You're fetting for Labor Day? You're fetting?
I'm up there already. I gone up last night.
Nice. All right. Well, start a fet.
A week in front, me and Trisha are organizing the costume.
All right, good. So you're fetting already?
Yeah, you coming?
I'll think about it.
I'll chat and plane and send it for you on Monday.
Nah, I'll think about it. I'm frightened.
Where your mask,
Oh, mask. Oh.
Where your mask? Them vagrant and them are no mask. The media want to give them mask.
Mask.
Yeah.
Mask. Right. I hear you.
You hear the kind of question they're asking?
Yes, girl. Yes. Very straight. But what are you going to do?
They're too smart.
Yes.
I party when you said you started, no?
Nice. Those are partying, right? You're out there for Labor Day, so party.
Nice.
Good. Right on.
Okay then, you do your thing.
See.
Hey, mommy, with the pretty little figure, say you want 6 figure for the wine. You know me got it, sign the check, baby, but I want it for life. Oh, 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 oh. come true. Yeah, what I do? Bust a wine now. Bust a wine now. Bust a wine like it's your birthday. Double time now. Double time now. Double time. Girl, you got my Thursday. Bust a wine now. Bust a wine now. Bust a wine like it's your birthday. Girl, you got my Thursday. Because you look so perfect when you wind up. On the ground, don't touch down. But down, turn up the sound. Turn up the sound. Man can't lock you down without a ground. Come wind down. On the ground, don't touch down. But down, turn up the sound. Turn up the sound. Man can't lock you down without a ground. Them girls are pretty like you. No way. To the bar, let's turn and say, who you say I do? I'm a king, Shereen, and I got some for you. So if you love somebody, show me if you love somebody. Tell me if you love somebody. Yeah, just tell somebody. I'm not afraid to shout it. I'm not afraid to shout it. Oh, na na na. I love you. Say yeah, and there is no shame about it. So I'm not afraid to shout it. Oh, na na na. Don't wait for the perfect moment. This is the time, so deal with it now. Hug that person and let them know. Hey, even the bad man heart is open. So tell all the real brethren that you know the die-hard ones who riding for you. Don't wait till they come. No way. This is the time to appreciate. Don't hold back, don't procrastinate. Don't wait till they come. Look somebody in the face. Please don't wait. Tell them straight. Tell them say I love you. I love you. I'm not afraid to shout it. I'm not afraid to shout it. Oh na na na. I love you. Yeah. And there is no shame about it. So I'm not afraid to shout it. Oh na na na. Look how long me and my girl dating. And I ain't popped the question as yet. I'm busy chasing birds and the fed. Hey, this year I ain't not gonna do the same thing. Thinking about making the big step. Don't wanna look back on the life and regret. God, she always stay by my side. Throughout all the lows and the highs. Till she comes. So for the rest of my life, baby, would you be my wife? Because I love you.
Hilton and Lisa, boy. Alright, Hilton. Take a wine with Lisa and carry on with her. Carry on. Carry on. Yeah. 90.1 FM, the ultimate fireman on the inside. Call 911 Hilton whining. Call 911 Hilton whining.
Hello, good evening, sir.
How can I be of service to you, sir?
But ain't you said to call 90.1, boy?
No. I said 911. 911.
Well, here what happening. I have two left ears. I ain't hearing right.
Oh, my goodness. You're under pressure.
Under pressure, boy.
Yeah. You're under pressure. 911.
Oh, I thought it was 90.1 you're saying, all right?
No, it's if you want. Well, are you calling for an emergency?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice music playing.
Oh, okay, right. So then call 90.1.
Right, well, and I see you going on bad, and I noticed you don't be breaking, but you don't be getting some, you're not lucky, man, you don't be getting some offers, and you don't need to with them.
Well, it sounds good. It sounds good lyrically. It sounds
good. I will tell you something. A man who does get and don't want, does live to want and can't get it.
I feel I fall in the category already.
Well, this is what I'm saying with you because you're getting and you're refusing, boy.
Alright, I'm taking now. Alright, I take it now. I stop refusing.
And listen, man, and you're getting from so many different sources that you could make a wise choice.
Oh, of course. Well, I know what to do now. From now on. Right on. I'm taking the advice from now on.
Alright, well, I will be observing.
Right, and you could call 911.
Nice.
Alright, easy. And don't forget, coming up at 6 o'clock, our live virtual concert series continues. Ready Joseph Fortune and the Band Effects. Yeah, boy, they'll be live from 6. And tomorrow, the clash between Super Blue and Ronnie McIntosh. All happening right here on 90.1 FM. They're working hard, they're working hard. When they finish, they should have a little money in their pocket, you see? Yeah, man.
A gift to the nation, celebrating diversity. The 58th anniversary Independence Concert, Monday, August 31st, 12 midday, 100% Trini Pan. A live at lunch online streaming concert from the Southern Academy for the Performing Arts as the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and the Arts launches Patriotism Month with performances by Len Bugsy Sharp, Pan Twins Deja and Dejeen Kane, Caribbean Steel Pan Connection featuring Carlton Xander Alexander, Mahalia Thomas, MC Jarrell Forbes. 100% Trini Pan, a lunchtime online streaming concert. Log on to Facebook/Culture Division TT. Join us Monday, August 31st, Independence Day. Courtesy Music TT, SAPA, WACK Radio 90.1 FM, and the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and the Arts.
Greetings in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I am Brother Wendell Paris, evangelist and minister of God's Word, inviting you to listen to the Know Your Bible broadcast hosted by the Churches of Christ every Sunday evening from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. This is one of the most informative, enlightening, and thought-provoking Bible programs just for you. We will also be coming to you live, so get ready for sound biblical teachings from the Know Your Bible broadcast every Sunday evening from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. on WACK Radio 90.1 FM.
Trinidad and Tobago, to stop all the rhetoric, the most important and only message that should be shared about COVID-19 is about transfer. The only way the virus can be spread is through transfer. Conversely, the only way the virus can die is without transfer. To state clearly, if we stop the transfer, we will kill the virus. So whether you have underlying conditions or you are an elderly person is the wrong narrative. Whether young persons are affected and will recover quickly is not important. Whether it has or has not been proven to affect children is irrelevant. Stop the transfer, kill the virus. Wear your mask. Stop the transfer, kill the virus. Physically distance. Stop the transfer, kill the virus. Wash your hands. Stop the transfer, kill the virus. Let's spread the right message. Stop the transfer, kill the virus.
When last you had a good pay me or lashing piece of pone? Well, TNO Pastry Delights is the place. Located Pamela's Mall, Marabella, next to TN Tech. They carry freshly baked sponge cakes, sweetbreads, cheese puffs, beef pies, and a wide assortment of pastries. Check them out at Pamela's Mall in Marabella. Open from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Saturday. TNO Pastry Delights.
KMP Music Lab is a music and video production company located at Palmas, San Fernando.
I heard some songs about tomorrow. I don't know if...
Whether you're interested in recording your dream song or just getting a demo of your potential music for the future, give us a call.
So that we can say that this nation you came from quite down there.
With over 40 years experience in the music industry, we can meet all your musical needs as well as CD and DVD production. For more information, give us a call and schedule your free consultation today at 652-9774 or email us at kmpmusiclab@gmail.com.
Get clothing, bags, and toys for children at JCP and more. Located at 18 Central Street, Vista Bella, close to the Catholic Church. You can get brands such as Carter's, Healthtex, and Gerber. And you can browse the range of ladies' clothing. The opening hours are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mondays to Saturdays. For more info, call Jenny at 759-1397 or like us on Facebook. Check out JCP and more for top quality, great prices.
There is a decline in the economy, which is affecting all businesses, WACK included. For us overseas, WACK is our home away from home. We call WACK to speak out, talk our mind, and even pray. But it takes more than our calls to keep the station on the air. This is our opportunity to put our money where our mouth is. So I am appealing to the listeners who can afford to donate $10 in this trying time. I hope I don't have to say whack them Kenny. I am Dancer Boy and I approve this message.
Oh gosh! Oh gosh! Fire! Fire! Somebody call the fireman! Call the fireman! Call the fireman!
Hello? Hello? Is this the fireman? Is this the fireman? Come down now!
I'm Fireman David Matthews and I'm on my way.
Jumping up in the van. Hey, 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 hey. They're jumping up and down, they don't give a damn. Carrying on like them is some hooligan. We gon' mash up everything like we have insurance. And tear down everything like we have insurance. We gon' shell down everything like we have insurance. When crazy people reach up, they have insurance. Cause we have endurance. We gon' mash it up and buy back. Tear down and build back. Mash it up and buy back.
Inside my final hour. Lock it down at 6 o'clock. So get busy now.
If they come in to take way off, whole place come mash up. If they come in to take way off, the whole place come mash up. If they come in to take way off, whole place come mash up. If they come in to take way off. After all of that money that I don't save myself, right? 1 more minute on station is behave myself. The truck ain't ready yet, let me parade myself. A few more seconds isn't illegal. Give me 1 minute extra, just a minute extra. Let the papers catch me in the colors and me texture. Want to push me rag up like the gases in a Vespa. Everybody push up all your hand. Wow, we come off it to celebrate. Not so bad, my no one. Drink by the case. Not so bad, my no one. All in the faith, we don't bad, my no one. Jam down our waist, we don't bad, my no one. All well, all them. People bring talk without indulge. He say, she say, anything without involve. I been this way since me was a infant. And if they was confront, getting money, good vibes you go bring. See me with my friend, them and we drinking anything. Well drunk and I stumble into a boat into a gym. Started from the night and we not stop till the morning. And then you see we taking a drink, jamming a gal, cussing a stage. Taking a drink, jamming a gal, up in a face. Taking a drink, jamming a gal down anyway. And we do business what they say, we come off to stop.
This crowd is a vibe. I feel to dive. Make me feel alive. I feel to dive. Energy and a vibe. I feel to dive. Hands up our surf over this. Surf over this. Surf over this. Oh, you take me over this. Surf over this. Surf over this. Hands up if you want to dive upstage. Make a way. Spin them rag and pop the wave. Hands them up and pick up the wave. Flex them up and pick up the wave. Start jump up and pick up the wave. Trinidad just pop the wave. St. Lucia yet pop the wave. Grenada yet pop the wave. Everybody, this crowd is a scene. I feel to dive. Angry and it means. I feel to dive. Who dirty and who clean. I feel to dive. All our we is a team. I feel to dive. Hands up our surf over this. Surf over this. Surf over this. Oh, you take me over this. Surf over this. Surf over this. Hands up if you want to get up. Spin them right up, pop the wave. Pop the wave. Pop the wave. Jump up, pop the wave. Trinidad just pop the wave. St. Lucia yet pop the wave. Grenada yet pop the wave. Everybody, this crowd is a scene. I feel to dive. I want to off the stage and dive. Take off the stage and put off the stage and dive. Put off the stage and off the stage. Off the stage, dive. This crowd is a scene. I feel to dive. Angry and it's mean. I feel to dive. You know what I mean. I feel to dive. I wanna surf over. I feel to dive. Let's go. Say what they want about me. I's a die hard. It's not for me, but for all
When soca is pumping, it pumps. When soca is pumping, it pumps. Shout out all those who pumping in the taxis right now. Well, I don't know the difference between taxis and pickers. Same thing, right? Okay. You have more pickers on the road than taxis now, so just bump it. Those at home, just keep it locked. 90.1. Thirsty for what?
Enough, you know, get enough, you know. Oh, I am
Burning, 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 start the fire blazing. Burning, 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 darling. Fire red, that is how we coming. Fire red, we don't fear nobody. Fire red, that is how we coming. Fire red, watch wind. Them say the fireman dead. Now I'm back like a burning ghost, burning them from coast to coast. Fry your brain like egg and toast. Them better be careful how them face swim, because just like the 300 Spartans coming through the tongue, we coming in strong. You can't go wrong with the iron fist in my hand. I go lead the wickedest man. Everything else better beware, 'cause this carnival I don't care. We coming fire. We don't fear nobody. Fire. Anytime you see we don't fear nobody. Fire. Watch wind. Burning, burning, burning. Start the fire blazing. Burning, burning, burning. Start the fire. We have tuned the rock, tuned the swing. When we come in, we rock. Send the music for queens and kings. Let the rock them know this time we fire. This is how we come in. Fire. We don't fear nobody. Fire. That is how we come in. Fire. Watch wind. Burning, burning, burning. Start the fire blazing. Burning, burning, burning. Get out the light. Blaze it up, blaze it up. Everybody start to jump and blaze it up, blaze it up. Hey, let's go. Last year when them take my name and drag it all through the mud and through all the dirty flood, like if they wanted my blood. You better be careful what them ask for, because if I decide to answer, they might not like what I say. When the fire come from the mountain top, I start to melt them away. When they see me come to the street, when the iron pan and repeat, anything what jump in this heat. When you saw the going get the feet, because we fire. This is how we come in. Fire. We don't pray nobody. Fire. This is how we come in. Fire. Watch me. Burning, burning, burning. Start the fire blazing. Burning, burning, burning. Start the fire. We have tuned the swing. When we come in, we run things. Play the music for queens and kings. We balancing in this party. Hey, 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 hey. People, are you ready? We balancing in this party.
Turning up the vibes right here on 90.1. The ultimate fireman on the inside. Keeping the balance alive.
Balance to the road. Balance to the road.
Oh yeah, yo. Oh yo yo. Let me go.
Balance to the road. Bend the road onto the road. Hands up and balance to the road. Hands up and balance to the road. Wind down like balance to the road.
Akila, you're whining, Akila? Alright.
Wind down like balance to the road.
I feel you in the kitchen.
We don't care about the recession. All we want to do is have fun. Jumping up in the blazing sun, blazing sun. Take a jump, jump, jump. Take a jump up on the truck. Take a jump, jump, jump. There we jump and mash it up. Take a jump, jump, jump. Take a jump up on the truck. Take a jump, jump, jump. There we jump and mash it up. Come on and say that we on the road.
It's time to break out. Break out 2020. My culture is the best in the world. Hold on for a rough ride as we break out. 2020 is the breakout year. We're no longer the underdogs.
WACK 90.1 FM, broadcasting to the world.
We are Culture Crazy 1 FM. WACK. We are Culture Crazy.
My mama no go eat. If I no chop, my mama no go chop. If I no sleep, my mama no go sleep. If I no chop, my mama no go chop. Iyani yami, my money mama me say. Iyani yami, Iyani yami, my money mama me say. Iyani yami. Well, I am Amio, only for you to go there. Amio, get to marry your show. Amio, whoa, mama. Oh, mama. That's so cool. Mama. No one cannot take your place. Mama. Cannot take your place, Mama B. Oh mama, Mama B. Oh mama, oh mama, Mama B. Oh mama, oh mama, Mama B. Oh mama, oh mama. No one cannot take your place, Mama B, Mama B, Mama B.
It's time to break out. Break out 2020. My culture is the best in the world.
Have we frightened and teasing? Right, left and center. It's mayhem and torture. It started out in Wuhan and spread out throughout the land. And now the whole human race wearing masks on their face. No mask, no entry. Warn everybody. No mask, no entry. It's a new society. No mask. You can't pass. Come clean, COVID-19, and bring you hygiene. It's sanitizer, plenty soap and water. Wash and clean hands, social distance. It started out in Wuhan and spread out to other lands. And now the whole human race wearing masks on it. No mask, no entry. Warn everybody. No mask, no entry. It's a new society. No mask. You can't pass. No mask. Look, watch your ass. COVID-19. Oh, total disorder. COVID-19. Hey, lock down your border. Mr. COVID. You're too wicked.
In light of the COVID-19 pandemic, there are some simple ways to protect yourself.
A gift to the nation, celebrating diversity. The 58th anniversary Independence Concert, Monday, August 31st, 12 midday, 100% Trini Pan. A live at lunch online streaming concert from the Southern Academy for the Performing Arts as the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and the Arts launches Patriotism Month with performances by Len Bugsy Sharp, Pan Twins Deja and Dejeen Kane, Caribbean Steel Pan Connection featuring Carlton Xander Alexander, Mahalia Thomas, MC Jarrell Forbes. 100% Trini Pan, a lunchtime online streaming concert. Log on to Facebook/Culture Division TT. Join us Monday, August 31st, Independence Day. Courtesy Music TT, SAPA, WACK Radio 90.1 FM, and the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and the Arts.
Trinidad is my land. The national flag of Trinidad and Tobago. Designed by Carlisle Chang, the flag of Trinidad and Tobago was chosen by the Independence Committee of 1962. The flag has a red field with a white-edged black diagonal band from the upper hoist side to the lower fly side. The three colors represent different elements, which are earth, water, and fire. Black stands for the wealth of the land and the dedication of the people. White, the purity of the country's aspirations and equality. Red symbolizes the warmth and energy of the sun, the vitality of the land, and friendliness of its people. The dates of special significance for this country on which the national flag may be flown freely by all citizens are as follows: Independence Day, August 31st. Republic Day, September 24th. Remembrance Day, second Sunday in November. And any other date that may be prescribed from time to time.
Trinidad is my land, and of it I am proud and glad.
Join Apostle Carlisle Chankasing live from Faith Center on this radio station every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. And you can be a part of the second service starting at 11 a.m. on Prince of Wales Street in San Fernando.
The Agape House Ministries, in collaboration with St. Peter's Spiritual Baptist Church, Corner Pond and Lambie Streets, Vista Bella, presents The Kingdom of God. Jesus said, "The time is fulfilled and the kingdom of God is at hand. Repent ye and believe the gospel." Do join your host, Bishop Leon John, and the Agape House team every Sunday from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. on WACK Radio 90.1 FM as they explain the spiritual principles for kingdom living in this troubled world and help with your preparation for life in the kingdom of God.
Trinidad and Tobago, to stop all the rhetoric, the most important and only message that should be shared about COVID-19 is about transfer. The only way the virus can be spread is through transfer. Conversely, the only way the virus can die is without transfer. To state clearly, if we stop the transfer, we will kill the virus. So whether you have underlying conditions or you are an elderly person is the wrong narrative. Whether young persons are affected and will recover quickly is not important. Whether it has or has not been proven to affect children is irrelevant. Stop the transfer, kill the virus. Wear your mask. Stop the transfer, kill the virus. Physically distance. Stop the transfer, kill the virus. Wash your hands. Stop the transfer, kill the virus. Let's spread the right message. Stop the transfer, kill the virus.
Let us help you to remain safe during this period of social distancing.
We offer live video streaming and live radio broadcasts of online entertainment, conferences, church services, funerals, and hosting of various online events so you can reach your target audience during this difficult time of quarantine. We have affordable prices and we guarantee you reach and please your worldwide audience. For more details, call or WhatsApp 680-8985, 652-9774 or email WACK90.1fm@gmail.com. Stay safe, TNT, while you reach all corners of the world.
WACK 90.1 FM, San Fernando, Trinidad, and Tobago.
2020 has been an unforgettable year. The Golden Hands 2020 calendar is a collector's item in honor of steel pot icons that accomplished notable firsts. Bobby Muhammad, Carlisle Holder, Ray Holman, Lord Gay, Michelle Huggins Watts, Natasha Joseph, Bertrand Burge Kelman, Len Bosie Sharp, Beverly Ramsey Moore, and Vanessa Headley. Available now at Golden Hands, WACK 90.1 FM, Trinbago, or call 1-868-652-9774. Get yours now with a 50% discount for only $60. Delivery available to your home or workplace on Wednesdays. Send your orders via WhatsApp. Text to 186-489-9151. All proceeds go to the Golden Hands Music Scholarship Fund.
In light of the COVID-19 pandemic, there are some simple ways to protect yourself and your family. First, your hands. Know where they are at all times. When out and about, keep hands clean as much as possible. Wash or sanitize after touching surfaces like doorknobs, countertops, trolley handles, etc. You touch, you wash thoroughly or sanitize if washing isn't possible. Secondly, start working on the connection between your hands and your face. Be aware of touching your face and stop doing it. I know it's not easy, but try. Those on the front lines realize this is one area of transmission. Third, no touching or hugging other people. If out getting groceries or supplies, say hello from afar, smile and wave. 4. Social distancing. Stay away from others as much as possible. 3 to 6 feet if that's possible. 5th, keep hydrated. Keep your immune system well boosted. Look after your general health. And lastly, take care of your mental health. These are anxious times. Stay away from fear by staying away from fake news and misinformation. We will get through this if we all act sensibly and responsibly. Now you have a good day.
Okay, heading up to 6 o'clock. And at 6 o'clock, Rennie Joseph Fortune and the band Effects. Yeah, they'll be live. Up close and personal. Rennie Joseph and the band Effects. Alright, so stay tuned for that. They're coming up at 6 o'clock. When I make my departure, they will make their entrance. And tomorrow, please God, you know who you have. Ronnie McIntosh versus Super Blue in a shootout. Yeah, boy. Tomorrow. Hello. Good afternoon.
Yeah, boy. Tomorrow. Happy Independence. Don't mind, I know you and the girls going down the island.
I'm going. Yeah. No problem. I'm going down.
You and the ladies, you're so lucky. When you could escort him down the island.
I'm looking for a security guard. You want to walk over?
Look out, Tony.
I want you to do the walk.
Mr. Desmond, but I have precept.
I want you to do the walk.
I have no precept. I can't take that walk.
All right, okay. Stay home.
All right, I stay home.
Stay home and plant coconut.
All right, well, I enjoy the program. I just locked in and just shouting you out.
Yeah, man, easy, man.
So, Trinidad and Tobago, happy independence. Stay home and kill the virus. Thank you for the love of my country.
Easy, man. Yeah, man, bless. Yeah, boy. So we wind it down now. Yeah, we wind it down now. Ooh, yeah, boy, don't worry. Equipment's crashed just now. You understand? So it's 90.1 FM, the ultimate fireman winding down. So, coming up at 6 o'clock, alright? Up close and personal. Stay locked for that. Rennie, Joseph Fortune Boy, and the Barney Effects. And tomorrow, we're getting ready for Super Blue, Ronnie McIntosh, alright? So keep it locked to 90.1 FM for all the vibes. You get it live. And how you could get it again, boy? You could get it live, and you could get it dead. And yo. It's all happening right here. Stay locked.
You're so amazing, baby. You're so special in every way. Oh, baby, I could never imagine I'd live in my whole life without you, girl. More than I'll ever know. Hold me, baby, squeeze me tight. Don't ever let me go. Hey, 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 hey. More than words can explain. Every time we make sweet love, I need more again and again. Never will I give your love to someone else. You will always be the one I'll always share my life with. Come on, baby, let me love you. It's no fantasy, my everything, my shining star. You're my destiny, yeah. How could I live without you? How can I go on if you're not next to me, baby? Just thinking about you have me craving. Baby, I am nothing without you, more than I'll ever know. Hold me, baby, squeeze me tight, don't ever let me go. 'Cause how I do, more than words can explain. Every time we make sweet love, I need more again and again. Oh, if I had the key to the world, girl, I'd give you everything. If I had the key to your heart, girl, I'd make the fire start, and I'd give you love and peace.
spoon of honey in my hot cup of tea. I crave your sexy body, so come melt into me. Let me take you to a party, we can have some wine. Get you ready for romance, 'cause tonight you're mine.
I'm not trying to make you feel uncomfortable. I'm not trying to make you anything at all. But this feeling doesn't come upon not every day. So you shouldn't blow the chance if you got the chance to say, I love you. Honestly love you. Honestly love you.
You give me love to rock my body and love to rock my soul. The loving that you give me makes me lose control. Come on, baby girl, let me squeeze you tight and give you hardcore love until the morning light.
If we both were born in another place and time, this moment might be ended in a kiss. But there you are with yours, and here I am with mine. So I guess we'll just be leaving in a day.
Girl, you came into my life just like the sunshine. I gotta let you know that you really blow my mind. When I look into your eyes, I get that feeling of love, happiness, and a whole lot of meaning. When you're at my side, I walk with pride. Let's tell it to the world, I can't let it hide. 'Cause you got a body that strikes like lightning. And if I was a cake, then you'd be my icing. I feel proud, I wanna shout it out loud. 'Cause you stand out.
So it's just about 7 minutes before the hour 6 o'clock. Time for me to pack up and make my way out of here.
You know you leave me mesmerized. 'Cause I get
The block party is almost
happiness. I want you to
at the end.
I really mean business. Walk it, talk
So until Monday, please God, I'll be here on Monday, please God.
when I take you to my
So you know what you have to do now.
'Cause you are more pretty than a flower in bloom.
Yeah. Yes, I'll be here Monday, 10 to 2. So you have a choice. You know what you have to do now, right? Either put on the radio or take it off. So I'm gone. Until then, keep your feet on the ground and keep on reaching for the stars. Catch you on Independence Day. Yeah, man, have fun. Live action coming up at 6.
Today's fine sunshine most of the time, and the feeling is laid back. Palm tree growing so low, don't you know? I keep on working my way back, but I'm Tobagoan boy who born and raised. Nowadays I've lost between two shores. Trinidad is fine, but it ain't home. Tobago is home, but it ain't mine no more. Ooh, I am myself to know, and no one heard at all, not even the chair. I am my pride. I am said and I am lost in I can't even survive. I'm living alone still. Ever read about a father dream of being a king? Then he all became one. Except for the name, if you want to change, talk about me. The story's the same one, but I've got this evidence on deep inside, and it won't let me go. You see, I'm a man who don't lie to swear, but I can't take the sound of being alone. I am myself to no one else.
love Calypso.
My culture is the best in the world.
I love chutney. I love Trini Pop. I love pan.
The feeling is real.
I love my country. We love WACK. Our culture never stops.
Taking our culture to the world. WACK 90.1 FM. San Fernando, Trinidad and Tobago. Breakout 2020. Celebrate with us as we break out in 2020.
We're not here to ancestral calling.
WACK 90.1 FM, San Fernando, Trinidad, Tobago. We are culture crazy. WACK. 2020 is the breakout year.
Yes! Lighter! Holy woman we searching. Big fat bumper we searching. Watch the gal and them whining. Ready up what we tell them, yo! You better move out the way. Plenty woman in there and you just stand it. I tell you to move out the way. Bumpers rolling in front and you just stand it. You will never catch me in a bed standing in the corner when there is woman. Plenty woman. You will never catch me in a bed standing in the corner when there is woman. Ladies, if you come over, drink and go walk up your waistline, make me hear you say yeah. And you don't give a damn if I'm a tip or wine, just put your hands in the air. Just leave them up, leave them up. Fine and grind is my jam. How the hell you come to a soca party standing up with a man? You better move out the way. Plenty woman in there and you just stand it. I tell you to move out the way. Bumpers rolling in front and you just stand it. You will never catch me in a bed, posing up at the bar when there is woman. Plenty woman. You will never catch me in a bed, posing up at the bar when there is woman. Ladies, if you come over, drink and go walk up your waistline, make me hear you say yeah. And you don't give a damn if I'm a tip or wine, just put your hands in the air. Just leave them up, leave them up. Fine and grind is my jam. How the hell you come to a soca party standing up with a man? You better move out the way. Plenty woman in there and you just stand it.
Somebody good, somebody nice, somebody sweet, 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 sweet. I want somebody to love up, somebody to squeeze up, somebody to jump up, and everything will be airy, 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 happy. I want somebody to have up in the party, somebody with tempo, somebody with sense, somebody who know how to roll it up and to shake it up. Happy. I want somebody to have up in the party. Aye. Give me. Oh yeah. That's nice. Ah.
We are Culture Crazy, headquarters in Trinidad and Tobago, broadcasting to the world.
We are Culture Crazy. Breakout 2020.
The jamming they give to Mr. Calypso, but the man gave I, and this is no lie, the full privilege to come out here and give you this message. He said the things he used to take long ago, that he ain't decide to take them no more. Furthermore, he needs some compensation for his services to this nation. To guys so gone dread, guys so gone dread, dread, dread. Go rap to them bald heads, tell them to guys so gone dread. Go rap to them bald head, tell them. Drink a rum, come and sing a song, that's one of the things people in his country used to tell him. Invite him to the party, make him sing for free, tap him on the shoulder, and then they on the band, the brother.
WACK.
Diggy dick, diggy dick, diggy dick, diggy dick, diggy dick, diggy dick. Elaine cutting she husband Tim for money wasting in English racing, buying books from quite in London, checking the horse information. You know who is Colt and who is Philly, who win the Oaks and win the Derby. This stupid man he had no shame. He don't even know his grandmother name. But Monday morning
It's horse.
in the evening
He lost.
evening races,
It's horse.
double losses.
He lost. Man, I want a divorce.
Better I did marry to a horse.
Yes, I want a divorce.
Monday to Sunday you
Played
played
horse.
horse. A diggy dick, diggy dick, a diggy dick, diggy dick, a diggy dick, diggy dick. Whee! As he reach home in the evening, he up with the newspaper researching. The man ain't no time for she. He talking about Fallon and the Tory. You know who is the horse mother and father? Who is the owner and the trainer? Who had the best timing on the course? All this knowledge and he still love Lord. Monday morning
It's horse.
in the evening
He lost.
evening races.
It's horse.
Double losses.
He lost. Man, I want a divorce.
Better I did marry to a horse.
Yes, I want a divorce.
Monday to Sunday you
Played
played
horse.
A diggy dick, diggy dick, a diggy dick, diggy dick, a diggy dick, diggy dick. All the man of his horse won't take a taste in cheap pepper sauce. The man when drink she see moss. And next man thoroughbred horse in the race? Who does run at the fastest pace? Who is sprinter, who is stayer? And he never be a winner. Monday morning,
it's horse.
In the evening,
he lost.
Evening races,
it's horse.
Double losses,
he lost. Man, I want a divorce.
Better I did marry to a horse.
Yes, I want a divorce.
Monday to Sunday, you
playing horse.
A diggy dick, diggy dick. A diggy dick, diggy dick. A diggy dick, diggy dick. All the man now is horse. Won't take a taste in cheap pepper sauce.
Horsey, horsey,
take any money. Holy horsey, horsey, take any money.
Try to understand society plan for everyday woman. Can anybody ever imagine what goes on behind every grin? Well, if you really want to know, precious we on the go as we strut along. Won't you tell them, sister? Tell them and listen well. While the story I will tell how we women strong. From the time you wake in the morning, Russia, baby crying, Russia, children fighting, Russia. Get up, you radio, say have a nice day, Russia, but you still have rent to pay, Russia, and you just got see your way, Russia. Time you look around as evening comes, Russia, the water gone, Russia, the light will come, Russia. In the meantime, down in the kitchen, Russia, plate and spoon quarreling, Russia, Mr. Man grumbling, Russia. Lord help me. On top of that, the people still talking when a woman doing she own thing. No matter how you try to make ends meet, they find a way to put your business on the street. Man, they always complaining, knocking and criticizing everything you do. But won't you tell them, sister? It's a thing in the system that whatever good for them should be good for you. Every turn you make, you're getting more. Russia, finger pointing. Russia, they bad talking. Russia, one telling the next one look at shit. Russia, playing hoity-toity. Russia, don't even own a CD. Russia, where the hell you want me get it from? Russia, courts and credit. Russia, or you want me to keep it? Russia, like you want me walk when the night comes. Russia, then your big mouth you go run. Russia, spreading my name all over town. Russia, I can't take it. And if you want to add to the whole thing, Mr. Man in trouble, don't where he walk in. After leaving early one morning, he come back to tell me the boss retrench him. Well, things done bad already. Now you're adding insult to injury. Where you want me to? Won't you tell them, sister? Lucky thing we are just gallows. Cause when it come to bearing cross, we woman is boss. From the time he reach home, he ballin'. Russia, frustration killing him. Russia, no walk, no we frontin'. Russia, it's sure where we eat in mountain. Russia, but I still have to come for him. Russia, feel the night of pleasing. Russia, take him somewhere nice and cozy. Russia, make him feel real comfy. Russia, drive him to the point of ecstasy. Russia, in the end,
WACK 90.1 FM, broadcasting to the world.
We are Culture Crazy. WACK.
Levanta pata
Now I know better. Preach Peter, preach Paul. I won't be moving so at all. Now I go party, I go party. I getting on wassy, I getting on wassy. The party exciting, I ready for jamming. I playing myself this time. Oh yeah, give me. And it came to pass for the second time. I on the dance floor, not like before. I go play a mass, wait and you will see. Nothing this time is stopping me. Now I go party, I go party. I carry on wassy, I carry on wassy. I ready for loving, I ready for jamming, to enjoy myself this time. Oh yeah, give me.
2020 has been an unforgettable year. The Golden Hands 2020 calendar is a collector's item in honor of steel pot icons that accomplished notable firsts. Bobby Muhammad, Carlisle Holder, Ray Holman, Lord Gay, Michelle Huggins Watts, Natasha Joseph, Bertrand Birch Kelman, Len Bugsy Sharp, Beverly Ramsey Moore, and Vanessa Headley. Available now at Golden Hands, WACK 90.1 FM, Patriotic, or call 1-868-652-9774. Get yours now with a 50% discount for only $60. Delivery available to your home or workplace on Wednesdays. Send your orders via WhatsApp. Text 186-489-9151. All proceeds go to the Golden Hands Music Scholarship Fund.
A gift to the nation, celebrating diversity. The 58th Anniversary Independence Concert, Monday, August 31st, 12 midday, 100% Trini Pan. A live at lunch online streaming concert from the Southern Academy for the Performing Arts as the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and the Arts launches Patriotism Month with performances by Len Bugsy Sharp, Pan Twins Deja and Dejeen Kane, Caribbean Steel Pan Connection featuring Carlton Zander Alexander, Mahalia Thomas, MC Jarrell Forbes. 100% Trini Pan, a lunchtime online streaming concert. Log on to Facebook/Culture Division TT. Join us Monday, August 31st, Independence Day. Courtesy Music TT, SAPA, WACK Radio 90.1 FM, and the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and the Arts.
Trinidad and Tobago, to stop all the rhetoric, the most important and only message that should be shared about COVID-19 is about transfer. The only way the virus can be spread is through transfer. Conversely, the only way the virus can die is without transfer. To state clearly, if we stop the transfer, we will kill the virus. So whether you have underlying conditions or you are an elderly person is the wrong narrative. Whether young persons are affected and will recover quickly is not important. Whether it has or has not been proven to affect children is irrelevant. Stop the transfer, kill the virus. Wear your mask. Stop the transfer, kill the virus. Physically distance, stop the transfer, kill the virus. Wash your hands, stop the transfer, kill the virus. Let's spread the right message. Stop the transfer, kill the virus.
dancing culturally, sweet musical harmony. Nanny wine, 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 nanny wine down so, nanny wine down so, nanny wine down low, nanny wine down low, nanny wine down so, nanny wine down so, nanny wine down low, nanny wine down low. Trinidad and Tobago, Calypso, Pan and Limbo. Call me, I go answer. Two names like Soca Tassa. Nanny wine, nanny wine, nanny wine, nanny wine, nanny wine, nanny wine, nanny wine. Nanny wine down so, nanny wine down so, nanny wine down low, nanny wine down low, nanny wine down so, nanny wine down so, nanny wine down low, nanny wine down low. Nanny tell the Tessa to massacre the Tassa. Anywhere you're going, Nanny say I'm coming. Nanny wine, nanny wine, nanny wine, nanny wine, nanny wine, nanny wine, nanny wine. Nanny wine down so, nanny wine down so, nanny wine down low, nanny wine down low, nanny wine down so, nanny wine down so,
Who is it?
It's the plumber. I've come to fix the sink.
Answer this ad in the newspaper. This woman, she looking for a plumber. Boy, I went for the job. I wanted a walk. She want a bite move, so I took a look. She want me pull it on and turn it around. 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 And turn it around and push it back in. 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 Boy, the water running. Boy, the water running. Boy, the water running. Boy, the water running. Boy, when she turn it on, it start vibrating. A whole set of noise the pipe start making. I push and I pull, and last time no sweat. You ain't finished yet, she down in me neck. She want me pull it out and turn it around. 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 Turn it around and push it back in. 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 Boy, the water running. Boy, the water running. Boy, the water running. Boy, the water running. Boy, do something. Boy, 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 hit it. Finally it came out, she started to shout. If you hit it was coming from she mouth. Won't you hurry up and push it back in? Can't you see the water is still running? She want me to pull it out and turn it around. 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 Turn it around and push it back in. 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 Boy, the water running. Boy, the water running. Boy, the water running. Boy, the water running. Boy, she want me pull it out and turn it around. 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 Turn it around and push it back in. 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 Boy, the water running. Boy, the water running. Boy, the water running. Boy, the water running. Boy, she crying. Boy.
She are going down to fight sense of fun, and they want me to put them down. When I love the face all over my face, even when I go into bed with this same sugar boy, I must be fed. Oh, dear Deborah, give me the sugar. I don't care if it give me cancer, I don't care if it make me suffer. Oh, dear Deborah, give me the sugar. I don't care if it give me disease, I ain't frightened for diabetes. Oh, dear Deborah, give me the sugar. From the time I small, you could ask Elaine, I was sucking the sugar cane. Now they're telling me it is not healthy, but I'm telling you as a man I dying with piece of cane in my hand. Oh, dear Deborah, give me the sugar. I don't care if it give me cancer, I don't care if it make me suffer. Oh, dear Deborah, give me the sugar. I don't care if it give me disease, I ain't frightened for diabetes. Oh, dear Deborah, give me the sugar. If you say that you really love me, put the sugar inside me coffee. Oh, dear Deborah, give me the sugar. extra sweet, just to make sure sugar get it fit. But I tell Deborah, my loving spouse, if she do that to give me grouse, I put in myself.